Hey YouTube, here going to talk about things going on in the world around us. I'm here to do a bit of a challenge for myself, and that's to do a little devotion for you guys, see if I can squeeze it in 3 minutes. Now, Paul wrote in Ephesians that the evils of this world aren't done by men, they're done by the evil principalities and dark forces of this world, manipulating men and feeding off of the suffering that comes from these evil actions. I'm paraphrasing there, but basically, yeah, evil, although we have a propensity towards evil, there are evil spirits who definitely manipulate men in doing so. And when reflecting on that, I'm thinking about all the evil that happened in 2020, not just with what government did, but also with all the protests and violence that happened. It's, conjuring up again, and there's a lot of stupid people doing evil things. That's what I'm thinking about. Now, talk about Paul a bit. Paul was most hilariously described recently to me in a video I saw of Paul. If he was a Power Ranger, he'd be the Green Ranger. And that's funny because the Green Ranger is the coolest Ranger. And yeah, he had a big dragon sword and all that. But the Green Ranger is Paul because he was evil first. In fact, Paul was on his way to Damascus to round up a bunch of Christians for execution when Jesus appeared to him in a blinding vision. And literally blinded by this, and Jesus said, if you want to get your vision back, you crawl your way to those you are going to persecute, and they'll heal you. And long story short, he was healed by the early followers of Christ with the baptism. And Paul decided to atone for the early sins of his life with committing the remainder of his life to mission work and suffering a lot, but also to write what he wrote and all over the Bible. And Paul is the ultimate example in speaking to evil because of the evil nature in his heart prior to his baptism. Now, I'm going to close with this because it's his birthday this weekend. Martin Luther King Jr., who also was a reverend, said that no amount of darkness can extinguish darkness in the world. Only light can do so. So if you want the world to rid itself of if you want to rid the world of darkness, you have to be that light. So if you want these protests and these evil actions, these military actions overseas to cease, it starts with you in the mirror. Bring that light to the world as Christ asked us to do so. If Christ exemplified us to do so. If you want to eliminate darkness, you got to be that light. Anyways, that's it for me. Catch you guys in the next one.